showed signs of depression and 45% showed signs of anxiety. The self-reported mental health among pregnant women and new mothers. Before the COVID-19 pandemic, the depression rate was 15%, and now during this pandemic, the depression rose up to 40.7%. And the anxiety in new mothers and pregnant women was before the pandemic was 29%. Now, during the pandemic, it rose up to 72%. Living under stay-at-home orders, 8 in 10 students are struggling with focus on school or work and avoiding distractions. 55% of all students do not know where to go for help for their mental health. Understanding the pandemic's impact on working women, nearly 82% of women surveyed said their lives have been negatively disrupted by the pandemic. Nearly 70% of women who have experienced these disruptions are concerned their career growth may be limited as a result. The global economic outlook during the COVID-19 pandemic, a changed world. The pandemic is expected to plunge most countries into recession, with per capita income contracting in the largest fraction of countries globally since 1870. International Labour Organization, COVID-19 is a threat to peace building in conflict-affected nations. The COVID-19 crisis has worsened already fragile situations. The ILO is more aware than ever of its responsibility to promote peace and resilience in the time of this global pandemic. The Mumbai mayor says the third wave is already here. Breakthrough infections found in 25% of health staff. A new COVID-19 variant Mu shows signs of vaccine resistance. Now, we have seen these statistics and the grim reality that we are under in. Not only COVID-19 pandemic, its deadliest pandemic declared officially in the United States, it is the physical health, increased fatalities, concerning statistics, especially on the younger adults, on the mental health, and it is leading to global peace. It leading to concerning statistics on the state of global peace, affecting the global peace. So how do we cope up with the current COVID-19 pandemic? It is important to address the COVID pandemic, which is seeing another wave, destroying many more lives. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism says the pandemic fatigue is setting in as a result of continuous lockdown, resulting in delusional ignorance. Holding on to the delusion and supporting this pace of delusional decisions leads to delusional arrogance, Throbhava Sankalpa. Continuous lockdown leads to delusional thoughts like, so what, if I die, it's okay. I can't live forever in this lockdown. Going out and then exposing oneself and putting the risk on yourself and others with irresponsibility and insensitivity is the delusional arrogance. The global COVID virus pandemic has left the whole world desperately looking as it had been experienced even back in February 2020 is no longer recognizable. A drastic change is the order of the day, with people having to redefine their world with new paradigms of economy, society, faith, religion, and health. Blessed are those who have had the greatest fortune to be with the incarnation of Paramashiva, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, in their lives and to carry them through this crisis. If you are in India, join the Kailasa's COVID Care Protection Centers with the link https://kailasa.org/kailasa care. Sustainable developmental goals. Making peace with nature is possible if we start now. Even amid COVID pandemic, 2021 can go down as the year we made peace with nature to set the planet to healing. Our environmental, social, and economic challenges are interlinked. They must be tackled together. For example, we can achieve the sustainable developmental goals, including ending poverty, by 2030 if climate change and ecosystem collapse are undermining food and water supplies in the world's poorest countries. We have no choice but to transform our economics and societies by valuing nature and putting its health at the heart of all our decisions. Now let's watch a small clip on making peace with the nature. The World Health Organization Health and Peace Initiative. Health and peace are interlinked. In the words of the Director General of World Health Organization, Dr. Tedros, there cannot be health without peace, and there cannot be peace without health. United States Institute of Peace. Amid COVID, we need enhanced international coordination to build peace. Tackling the pandemic and building resilience in fragile states requires concerted international action at local, national, and global levels. Stronger health systems and universal health coverage must be a priority. Remarks to the General Assembly special session in response to the COVID-19. For the first time since 1905, the entire world is confronted by a common threat, regardless of nationality, ethnicity, or faith. A new social contract between people, governments, and the private sector, civility, and more can tackle the roots of inequality with fair taxation on income and wealth, universal benefits, and opportunities for all. Now let us see what are the contributions of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism for the global peace. International peace and security. Vedic tradition beautifully describes Yastu sarvani bhutani atmani ivanu pashyati sarva bhuteshu chatmanam tadona vigugupshate. Shah Upanishad. Global peace is the byproduct of the individual bliss. Whenever an individual goes through a spiritual bliss, he manifests a beautiful, peaceful life for him and everyone around him. If he is powerful enough, he moves the whole city and manifests peace. He is more powerful, he moves the whole village or whole country. If he is powerful enough, like incarnations, he moves the whole world and manifests peace for them. Individual bliss is the source of for the global peace in the level of Om, the macroscopic level Om, or the macroscopic level, whatever level it is. It may be global peace is the byproduct of the individual bliss. Now let's watch the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, that self-transformation.
Social answer means I'll tell, oh, you should all work for global peace. You should all work for turning the world. You should work for revolution. You should work for all these, that things. You should vote only the party which says that it will stop the war and all these things. This is the social answer. Nonsense. If you want the honest answer, I tell you, simply transform yourself. You can't do anything. If at all you can do, you would have done it. Be honest. If you can do, you would have done it. You are raising this question because you are not able to do. Am I right? So let us be very clear. Let us be honest. We are not able to do. Socially. That's the truth. That's the reason you are sitting here and raising the question. I tell you, understand few important things. There are a lot more attached to this question. We always feel the present is the world is totally spoiled. It is not going according to the rules or how it is supposed to be. It was wonderful once upon a time. In ancient time, things were going properly. Everything was well and great. And I tell you, 10,000 years ago, they found some writings on stone in Harappa Mohenjo-daro culture. Some stone writings have been discovered. The other day I read a beautiful book about that stone writings. That writings, it says, oh, nowadays the society is not as it should be. So much of war. There is no peace. In the early times, there was so much of peace. Society was really great. Things were as it should be. And it almost looks like a today newspaper editorial. Same thing carved on a stone. Then understand, there was no such time as only good prevailed. It is just a fantasy. Hinduism, they call it Satya Yuga, the age of truth. There was a time only truth prevailed. And every religion, Christianity, they say the Garden of Adam and Eve. There was a time everything was wonderful. Every religion has got the fantasy. The past was great. There was golden past. Always the idea of golden past exists only in the past. The more you go back, again you say the past was great. And I tell you one thing, it is a wonderful way of postponing accepting the reality. Otherwise, I can be sure the world was same as it is today. Whether it is 5,000 years ago or 10,000 years ago. Maybe one thing, there was no CNN channel that time. So the news did not reach you so quickly. That's all. The news did not reach you so quickly. That may be the only difference. But otherwise I can be sure the good and the bad was equal. Good and the bad was equal. The same amount of wars were there. All the other things were there. If you read the Puranas, the mythological stories of India, you see enough of things, enough of dirty things. I think sometimes I find little more. And if you read completely the Puranas or the Hindu scriptures, there are a lot of things much worse than modern day. The criminal activities or bad things or negative things, whatever you say, all this stuff. And never think only present day is corrupted or violent. In the ancient days also, all these things were there. Only one thing was not there, the CNN news or the internet. So the news did not reach you. But otherwise I can tell you, enough the good and bad was there. It always will exist. It will exist. All you can do is, if you awaken yourself, if you reach the enlightenment state, you can go beyond it. And I tell you, enlightenment is the only service you can do to the society. Just become enlightened so that you will reduce the negativity. Now, as of now, you are also the part of negative group. Naturally, we will be a negative group. As long as we are unenlightened, we will be the part of collective negative consciousness. So if you become enlightened, at least you will reduce your weight. That's the only thing we can do. Nothing else can be done. So all I request you to do is just become enlightened. Realize that you are a lion. That's the only way to help yourself and the society. Otherwise, all revolutions, you see, all revolution again end up as one more tradition. In last 2000 years, 3000 wars have happened in the humanity. In 2000 years, 3000 wars. Human beings have not done anything except doing wars, except fighting. Everybody claims he wants to do revolution. He wants to spread peace. You see, every country claims their army is a defensive army. Then who is offending? Tell me. Every country says defensive army. Then who is offending? These are all just, games. The idea of peace is a pure game. Everybody wants to spread the peace according to them, not according to the other person. They want peace according to them. The other day I was in one interreligious gathering. One guy is preaching, let all of you convert to my religion so that we will not have fight. He wants peace the way in which he wanted, not the way in which. And there's a beautiful saying, the sword of Muhammad, it is written, peace alone should survive, something like that. He has written some statement about the peace on the sword. We all take sword to spread the peace. So no revolution is going to help, because in the last 2000 years 3000 revolutions have happened, but still world is same, I think much worse. So no revolution is going to help, only individual evolution is going to help. So be very clear. Instead of working in the outer world, start working in the inner world. That will help you and society some way.
Now, let us see Kailasa's mission of global peace and super consciousness breakthrough. The sovereign order of Kailasa, led by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and Nithyananda order of and Hindu diaspora, are working for global peace and to give a super consciousness breakthrough to humanity. It is the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's mission to revive a conscious world where the global issues at the climate, economic, social, health, and humanitarian levels cease to exist from their very root, turning the problems of poverty, hunger, violence, discrimination into powerful living through the experience of oneness. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been working from the very grassroots level to usher in an era of peace at all levels: individual, social, societal, national, and global. His deep insights into the workings of the human mind body emotions have enabled him to powerfully and directly address various social and emotional problems facing humanity today. Some of the ways the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism provides spiritual solutions to combat the pandemic and other issues. Since the beginning of the global lockdown, the amount of contribution, the activism, the Kailasa has increased multifold through the Paramashivoham program, bringing super consciousness breakthrough to the whole humanity. By starting the Akhanda Nirvikalpa Samadhi Jnana Yajna and contributing almost 3 million minutes now. Paramashiva Sankalpa chanting, the sacred Sanskrit mantra chanting to heal 24/7 via Zoom sessions. Spiritual healing to one and all 24/7. Helping humanity cope up with insecurity, fear, disease by empowering individuals to heal themselves, learn to cope up emotions like depression and tough situations in relationships, providing alternative solution to worldly problems through power manifestation. Spiritual healing to one and all 24/7, initiating thousands every day into manifesting innate superhuman capabilities in the Kailas Courtyard sessions, providing healthy solutions like a technique to clear the stomach from the Ayurveda solutions, which ultimately brings clarity out to the spiritual truth and give a conscious breakthrough. In the long term, establishing self-sufficient communities, continuing and intensifying the service of Annadan, that's free food in Nithyananda Annalayas around the world, including Tirunamalai and Los Angeles, paving way to the New World Order, starting the agriculture-based communities in Adi Kailas and several other locations. Peacekeepers of Kailasa offering various life solutions from the teachings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Hinduism prescribes various methods for global healing. One such is Maheshwara Puja, nullifying the collective negativity simply through the presence of the avatar and his order of monks, offering Maheshwara Puja to the natural calamities hit victims. Bhava Samadhi Darshan to raise the individual consciousness breakthrough. Devi Parashakti Akashic reading the cosmic revelations. Society was created with the delusional ideas of too many human beings' blind spots and the decisions made from those blind spots. If the visionary of a civilization or country or nation has blind spots, when he develops the vision for it, the whole civilization suffers those blind spots forever. Now it's time that nature, Prakriti, resets itself. Many of the blind spots based visions, ideas became important components of the society. This pralaya, which is happening, is melting down everything which is delusion based. The world, as we know, is gone. Let us celebrate God. This isolation, which is seemingly endless, with an unknown future, which is compelling humanity to make 100% lifestyle change, is something to be deeply dwelt upon. All problems need to be addressed only with spiritual solution and powerful cognitions. To stop people having mental breakdown, pandemic fatigue, collapsing, depression, destruction, and also give them super consciousness breakthrough and revive the enlightened civilization, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism continuously gives spiritual solutions and powerful cognitions. Some of the spiritual solutions are unclutching, practicing meditation, practicing completion, practicing oneness, practicing ajapa japa of Mahavakya, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, consciously building deep feeling connection, yoga, puja, vegetarian diet, nirahara samyama. The life solutions based on the ancient Hindu tradition, the meditation and yoga techniques from the scriptures, the cognitions rooted in the highest truth, the lifestyle based on living and radiating the higher values of life, and powerful way of living and realizing one's ultimate potential form the foundation of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's teachings, which by their inherent nature provide the foundation for peace on planet Earth. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has launched the Minutes for Peace initiative, which aims to reduce the crime globally by conducting mass meditations around the world in parallel. The total count logged in for the Minutes for Peace website comes out to be a staggering 409 billion minutes for peace so far. Under the Red Om No Hunger Project, through the Annalayas, the de facto spiritual embassies of Kailasa worldwide, under the guidance of Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, has served over 2 million organic sattvic vegetarian meals so far. Giving free food to all the citizens is the economic policy of Kailasa, deriving the reference from Vedas and Agamas. And recently, under the humanitarian initiative launched by the Supreme Pontiffism, is opening Kailasa's COVID care centers in India, where the monastery campuses have been turned into a multi-layer quarantine facility to safeguard the inmates against any possible point of contact with the outer world. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has opened this service free to all people, regardless of any differences in age, gender, caste, creed, ethnicity, color, or socio-economic status. Food, shelter, internet, and all basic facilities, including medical care, are provided at these COVID care centers, free of cost and for an indefinite period of time. The outcome has been a splendid zero infection rate so far among the participants, a feat not achieved anywhere else in the world, let alone in India. This response model of handling the COVID-19 pandemic at its community level, along with the guidelines and recommendations for governments, has been recognized and accepted by the United Nations as well. You can see some of the glimpses of the Kailasa's COVID care protection centers. So join the COVID care protection centers. Register now with the link below, especially if you are in India, https://kailasa.org/kailasa care. Now we'll be moving on to the next part of our segment, Maheshwara Puja, NTV course. Today, we're offering Maheshwara Puja to the departed souls, to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism at 6 o'clock, 6 a.m. IST. So we are going to get ready for the Maheshwara Puja after a very short break.